Have you ever wished you could just turn your brain off? While everyone else seems to move on, your mind replays conversations, imagines worst-case scenarios, and analyzes every tiny detail. It feels exhausting. It feels like something is wrong with you. But what if the very thing you've been trying to fix is also one of your greatest hidden strengths? Psychologists have found that the same mental habits that make people overthink can also improve creativity, empathy, problem-solving, and long-term decision-making when they're managed correctly. In this video, we'll uncover the surprising advantages of a mind that thinks too much, why overthinking isn't always your enemy, and how to turn what feels like a curse into your greatest advantage. Let's begin. Imagine two people walking into the same room. One notices the furniture. The other notices the awkward silence, someone's forced smile, the tension between two coworkers, and the tiny hesitation before someone answers a question. Guess which one is usually the overthinker? People who think deeply naturally process more information than average. Their brains constantly search for patterns, hidden meanings, and possible outcomes. While this can become overwhelming, it also means they often notice details that others completely overlook. Researchers studying attention have found that some individuals naturally engage in deeper cognitive processing. Instead of accepting information at face value, they connect multiple pieces together before reaching conclusions. That's why many detectives, writers, scientists, and strategists are naturally analytical thinkers. Their minds don't just observe, they investigate. But here's the catch. If every observation becomes a threat instead of information, that gift quickly turns into anxiety. The goal isn't to stop noticing, it's learning which details deserve your attention. Here's a simple question. Do you trust someone who never thinks before making important choices? Probably not. Yet many overthinkers criticize themselves for doing exactly what often prevents costly mistakes. When your brain naturally explores different possibilities, it's performing something psychologists call mental simulation. You imagine multiple futures before choosing one. Should I take this job? Should I move? Should I trust this person? Your brain runs dozens of scenarios before acting. While excessive analysis can lead to decision paralysis, moderate reflection often leads to smarter long-term choices. Think about chess players. Their strength isn't moving quickly. It's considering possibilities that other people don't even see. Many successful entrepreneurs and leaders spend significant time thinking before making major decisions. Not because they're indecisive, because they understand that one good decision can change everything. So ask yourself, is your thinking helping you prepare or keeping you trapped? There's a huge difference. Have you ever walked away from a conversation knowing someone wasn't okay, even though they insisted they were fine? Many overthinkers experience this regularly. Their minds constantly collect emotional clues, tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, tiny pauses, changes in behavior. Without realizing it, they're building an emotional puzzle. Researchers have found that people who carefully observe social cues often develop stronger empathy and emotional understanding. This sensitivity can make them incredible friends, therapists, teachers, leaders, and partners. Because people don't always remember who gave the best advice, they remember who truly understood them. Of course, feeling everything so deeply has a downside. You may absorb other people's stress as if it were your own. That's why empathy without boundaries eventually becomes emotional exhaustion. Learning where someone else's emotions end and yours begin is one of the healthiest skills an overthinker can develop. Let's pause for a second. If you've been nodding along, here's something important. Not every thought deserves your attention. Your brain produces thousands of thoughts every day. Many are random, many are exaggerated, many never become reality. The goal isn't believing every thought. The goal is deciding which thoughts deserve your energy. That shift alone can completely change how your mind feels. And now comes perhaps the biggest hidden gift of all. Your imagination is exceptionally powerful. Every invention, every novel, every scientific breakthrough started as someone imagining something that didn't yet exist. The same imagination that creates anxiety can also create innovation. Overthinkers naturally ask questions like, what if? What happens next? What am I missing? Those questions fuel creativity. Many artists, filmmakers, musicians, and inventors describe constantly thinking about possibilities long before they become reality. Their minds refuse to settle for obvious answers. Instead, they explore. That's where original ideas are born. The challenge is directing your imagination toward creation instead of fear, because your brain doesn't actually know the difference. It simply builds detailed stories. You get to decide whether those stories become nightmares or masterpieces. You learn more from your experiences. Think about the last mistake you made. Some people forget it within hours, others replay it for weeks. Overthinkers usually belong to the second group. That sounds terrible. But there's another side to it. Reflection helps learning. When your brain reviews an experience, it searches for lessons. What worked? What didn't? What should I do differently next time? Athletes review game footage. Pilots analyze flights. Businesses examine failures. Reflection isn't weakness. It's how improvement happens. The danger comes when reflection turns into endless self-criticism instead of useful learning. There's one simple question that changes everything. What can this teach me? Instead of, what's wrong with me? One question creates growth. The other creates shame. Why overthinking becomes a problem. So if overthinking has so many advantages, why does it feel so painful? Because your brain wasn't designed to think endlessly. It was designed to solve problems. When there isn't a clear solution, your mind keeps searching. Again, and again, and again. It's like opening dozens of browser tabs but never closing any. Eventually, everything slows down. Psychologists often distinguish between productive thinking and unproductive rumination. Productive thinking leads toward action. Rumination circles the same fear without moving forward. The difference isn't how much you think. It's whether your thinking creates progress. That's a distinction worth remembering. Instead of asking, how do I stop thinking so much? Try asking, how can I think better? Here's a simple framework. First, write your thoughts down. A busy mind becomes calmer once it no longer has to remember everything. Second, set a decision deadline. Not every choice deserves endless analysis. Separate facts from assumptions. Ask yourself, what do I actually know? Finally, use your imagination intentionally. Spend more time creating than worrying. Build, write, design, learn, teach. Create something that gives your thoughts a direction, because an undirected mind often creates anxiety. A focused mind creates possibilities. Maybe you've spent years believing your mind was broken. Maybe you've compared yourself to people who seem carefree and effortless. But remember this, the goal was never to think less. It was to think more wisely. The same mind that imagines worst-case scenarios can imagine extraordinary solutions. The same brain that notices every detail can build ideas that others never see. The same sensitivity that sometimes overwhelms you can help you understand people in ways they desperately need. Your mind isn't your enemy. It simply needs a better direction. And perhaps that's the hidden gift you've been searching for all along. If this video made you see your own mind differently, let me know in the comments, what's one hidden strength your overthinking has given you? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.